I've said it 999,999 times, and I'll say it for the millionth time. If any group or even individual has more human rights than any other of the legal citizens of said country, then human rights don't exist. It must work on an even playing field for every single individual. And Scotland is the land of the freedom, and if you disagree, you're off to the gulag. A paradox country, as I like to call it. Now, I saw this over on Twitter, which I clicked the link to read the full actual official Scottish statement on this. If you want to pause the video and read it, or if you come over to my Twitter at rant-A-holic, go into the replies, you can click on it from here. But let's just get right into this. Non-binary equality action plan. What does this mean? Nobody knows, because only the mentally ill can translate these dyslexic hieroglyphics. First plan in the UK to improve the lives of non-binary people. New actions to improve the lives of non-binary people. I hate when articles repeat themselves back to back. In Scotland, and tackle inequality will be taken forward. So this I've read this about 5 or 6 times over. This next part, I'm sorry, I can't fathom this. My brain can not understand this. It is a very, very rare day when I read something and I am beyond out of my depth. I don't know what this is. The 5-year plan includes actions to support specific research on the experiences of non-binary people in Scotland, fund training for fertility preservation providers on trans and non-binary healthcare needs, and meaningfully include non-binary people in decision making by making processes accessible. I'm out of my depth, right? It's a really rare day. I'll admit I'm usually quite good at clicking on to things and at least understanding something at face value. This I don't know. I'm moving on. Again, the words of the mentally ill. The plan is in response to the recommendations of the Scottish Government's Working Group on Non-Binary Equality, whose members include non-binary people, what a surprise, never saw that one coming, charity representatives and academics. Equality Minister Emma Roddick said, "Our vision is for Scotland to be a place where, and bear in mind this part, a place where everyone's identity is recognised, respected and celebrated." Now, there's a lot in this little tiny sentence here or quote that I want to bring up as well. So, should this be celebrated? No, I don't think anything like this should be celebrated. Well, it's the LGTV, well, it's Black Lives Matter, well, it's Just Stop Oil. To me, when you're going out and this has been celebrated and it's a case of look at me, the way that I see it is you are basically edging your ego, trying hard not to blow your egotistical load in public. That's what this comes off to as. Even if it was a celebration for, white, heterosexual, straight Scottish men and women of this country, which I'll get back into because that's illegal, I would disagree with it because it's just fucking ego in public. It's just cringe. Respected, you're not granted respect, you fucking earn respect. That's how life has always worked since the dawn of time. Again, retarded that. Recognised. If someone doesn't want to recognise you within the moment, or your authority, or your position, or your views and opinions, then they are 100% within their right to do so. Again, retarded. Now, let's go back to the word celebrated here, if this would fuck off and stop being highlighted. The word celebrated. Let's say, for example, I got 99 people who are like myself, who are white, heterosexual Scottish people, and we are Scottish 100%. And we went out into public, not to riot, not to protest, not to cause controversy, just to meet up and just celebrate that we're white, straight men and women of Scotland. Do you really think that would be allowed in any way, shape or form? The police would come, drag us off, throw us in the gulag, and all the newspaper articles, Humza uses himself on Twitter, and of course all of the little wokies on Twitter themselves and the internet would be going, far right extremist Zionist, hooligan, yob, demonic worshipper, straight white people, like that on Twitter and news outlets. That would be the case. I like the word in here where here we go, we'll highlight it, where everyone's identity is recognised, respected and celebrated. I know for a fact if I tried to celebrate me being a white, straight, heterosexual Scottish man in my own country, I would be off to the gulag and you would not hear from me, and I'd be called a racist, a sexist, a bigot, a Nazi, a far-right extremist, a Zionist, all of the dead words that have been overused at this point here in the UK. So no, this wording says equal human rights for every single person in Scotland. That is not the case. It is an absolute blatant lie. You've got to be a part of a diverse group who are got to always be the victim. If you're not that, then you have no human rights in Scotland. That's how it works. Anyway, moving on. The action plan aims to improve equality and well-being for non-binary people, and it's first of its kind in the UK. Some actions are straightforward and immediate, whilst others are long-term and I keep trying to say systemic. However, they will all contribute and improving the experiences of non-binary people, and to begin tackle some of the challenges that this currently faced with in everyday lives, which are, go into detail please, stop making it so vague. Vic Valentine, manager of Scottish Trans, said, very poor choice of words, it is really positive to see this action plan published and to see that the Scottish Government has made public, concrete and measurable commitments to change that will make non-binary people's lives matter. I'm struggling to speak because my brain's trying to shut off reading this. I particularly welcome the communities that will have a positive impact not only on non-binary people but the marginalised people more widely, such as those who seek to make it easier and better for people on benefits and... So am I reading that? Fairer for people on benefits to participate in policy making processes and to be paid... Sorry, my brain's trying to shut off, right? I'm sorry, I'm actually a lot more intelligent than I sound right now, I promise. And to be paid for their time, and to look at how the design of public buildings does or doesn't work for everyone in Scotland. I'm sorry, but my brain is trying to run away and hide from this. It doesn't want to be a part of this whatsoever. As with any plan, the most important thing will be delivering. We look forward to working with non-binary people across Scotland to challenge the government to turn these committees into real change. Right, as I said towards the start of the video, if anyone has excess human rights over anyone else, then human rights don't exist, because it can only function on an even playing field for all legal citizens of said country. That's just how it works. It's really that straightforward. Now, trying to read through that whole thing, my brain was just trying to run away and hide, because it is just such absolute beyond nonsense with this. I mean, trying to keep it as vague as possible throughout that, like, they're going through this, they don't have equal rights, they don't, you know, they deal with such things on a daily basis, and like, but they don't go into detail, and again, it's just another power trip. That's all it is as well. There have been a lot of cases throughout Scotland where if you're not part of a diverse group and you dare give your opinion, you're off to the gulag. In fact, quite recently, Humza youzaf has also phoned the police on a couple of people being racist towards them on Twitter. Don't get me wrong, absolute arseholes doing that, but you'd think if a leader of a country, someone throwing some spicy words at you online, you would actually draw a spine and actually just take it in the chin and move on, because you look for a strong, you know, mental and physical leader to actually lead your country forward and bring you into a new era. But Humza youzaf has the spinal structure of a turkey twizzler, so what else do you expect? This is just absolute waffle and chin dribble. Like, I'm just going to cut the video off there and move on. But yeah, thank you very much to everyone that tuned in. It's greatly appreciated. If you could like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, it'd be greatly appreciated. Go check out some of my other videos, like I Predicted Lesbian Nana 2 and Modern Warfare 3 Deserves to Scam News. They're quite entertaining videos. I'm sure you will enjoy them. Leave a comment down below if you can process any of this information yourself. Maybe explain it to me if you agree or disagree with anything. As I say, links to my Twitter are in the description as well. And yeah, thanks for the support. Hopefully we can hit 1,000 before New Year's. That would be a Christmas miracle. But yeah, I love yous all, and as always, keep on rolling. See yous, have a great day and a better week to follow.